This week's champion trends feature Lucian, Gragas, Kog'Maw, Vayne, Shyvana, and Fizz. I'm Lindsay Geektron of Cloth 5, and this is LoLKing's League Trends. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. The increases in pick rate for this week, or the popular kids list, were headed up by Lucian with a 3.51% change, followed by Olaf, Shyvana, Nasus, and Annie, rounding out the top 5. Lucian has been rising in popularity ever since the Korean team Samsung Galaxy Blue dominated the group stages of the WCG qualifiers with him. One of the reasons why he is becoming so popular is because of how well Triforce works with his kit, which allows him to be a key part of a siege composition. Often paired up with Nidalee, Lucian's passive Light Slinger allows him to take down towers quickly, while the Culling melts minion waves in seconds. Triforce gives Lucian a mid-game power spike, and he's able to take down towers even faster than before with Sheen procs. Lucian is here to stay for a while and coming to dominate duo lanes near you. Champs with the largest decrease in pick rate for the past week were led by Elise with a 4.55% change, followed by Gragas, Sona, Sivir, and Jarvan. During the preseason patch, the Fat Man got a little nerf to his escape due to the fact that his body slam's cooldown has been increased. Naturally, with those changes, his pick rate dropped a little. This change makes Gragas a more all-in champion, as his body slam now does the full damage to each target instead of dispersing among them all. His all-in potential is much higher, but due to the cooldown, he has a much harder time escaping if he uses body slam at the wrong moment. Gragas is still a strong pick, and even though he made it to the top 5 largest pick decrease, he isn't in the top 5 win decrease. We will continue to see Gragas in both competitive play and solo queue. Following are the champs with the largest increase in win rate, aka the tryhards, and they are Kog'Maw with a plus 3.05%, followed up by Taric, Urgot, Olaf, and Nocturne. The Creature of the Void takes top spot for the biggest increase in win rate this week. Due to the change away from the assassin meta, marksmen with low escapes like Kog'Maw are able to shine once again. We all have experienced the true terror of this creature's late-game damage, and now he's making his way back into Summoner's Rift, bigger, badder, and stronger than ever. With the new Targon Brace, late-game carries like Kog'Maw will have an easier time to sustain in lane and reach their final form faster than ever. Along with Kog'Maw, we might see more champions without escapes like Ashe and Varus being played in the marksman position. Our next top 5 champions are heading up the largest decrease in win rate for the past week. Janna heads them all up with a negative 2.39%, followed by Galio, Vayne, Garen, and Victor. Bruce Vayne recently received a nerf to her Condemn, which is the main reason for her decrease in win rate this week. Previously, when you used Condemn, it set off an auto attack immediately following, allowing you to combo up to proc your Silver Bolt's passive. Due to the changes, you will have a much harder time doing so. Essentially, you are losing an auto attack every time you use Condemn. This really makes Vayne's weak laning phase even weaker than before, and possibly puts her out of work in competitive. With the rise of Jinx and Lucian across the world, it's even less likely for players to prioritize Vayne after these changes. Champs with an increase in ban rate for this week, aka nobody wants to play with me, are led up by Shyvana with a plus 13.45%. Riven, Nasus, Evelynn, and Syndra round out the top 5. The Half-Dragon continues to rise in ban rate week after week. Shyvana has a strong laning phase, as well as a strong mid-game and a strong late-game. I think it's pretty safe to say that she's a bit on the strong side at the moment overall, and we will continue to see her ban rate rise, and she's a must-pick ban in competitive. Shyvana is a tough opponent to lane against because she does both physical and magic damage to you, so you need both magic resist and armor to deal with her effectively. Throughout the mid-game and late-game, Shyvana becomes extremely tanky with just a few items plus her passive, while still doing massive amounts of damage to the enemy backline. Shyvana's only obvious weakness is that she can be kited easily by marksmen like Vayne. Shyvana will continue to be a strong pick in both the top lane and the jungle. Finally, we have the largest decrease in ban rate for the past week with Fizz at 9.09%, followed by Sivir, Aatrox, Ahri, and Zed. This little fish boy has been an annoyance in the mid lane for as long as I can remember. All he wants to do is to kill you. When he hits level 2, he wants to kill you. When he hits level 6, he wants to kill you. And when he gets a Lich Bane, all he wants to do is kill your whole team. Don't even get me started on his Troll Pull, which helps Fizz to avoid all incoming abilities and damage. Even though his Seastone Tridents ratio were nerfed a little in the previous patches, he he is still a strong assassin in the mid lane. Fizz won't be picked as much in competitive or solo queue, and his ban rate will continue to decrease, but he is still a very viable champion. And that's it for this week's show. Please be sure to subscribe to LoLKing on YouTube to keep up on these league trends, and be sure to subscribe to Cloth5 on YouTube for more great analysis. I'm Lindsay Geektron. Thank you for watching.